Alright guys, we're here with Pacman and myself. We got a one versus one. Really cool match. Pacman and I always do one versus one when we can. And in this case, he's practicing his Zava. I random, and I random Blade Hunter, so kind of lucky strike there. But you get to see a good matchup between Zava and Blade Hunter, which actually was also in the Korean finals. That same matchup. So let's see how we do here. We're gonna stick to the left lane. Basically, the first person to the bunker wins. Now, in that sense, Zava's kind of got an advantage. Most casters do because so I'm going around that turret. Actually, you see this beginning, I'm going around that turret so he doesn't see me when I enter the lane. You can see people when they enter the lane if you're against someone who randoms, because what happens is that the game gives you vision of certain points automatically when they enter. So I was trying to avoid that. I'm just going to rush his creep. Not going to bother with that second crate like I usually do. But, kind of back to that whole point of Zava having an advantage with buildings. Blade Hunter's terrible with buildings. It's just not really what he's for. So I have to make sure to really keep him down, kill him quite a few times, and just really not prevent him to feed. Otherwise, there's really nothing I can do. I'm trying to, split the creep here as well as reverse splitting his. But Pacman taking advantage of that melee range attack for Zava. Now I'm gonna get my 4 Marines here. So split my creep up a little bit there, but overall, it's kind of hard to split with Blade Hunter. Even doing that little hold trick where you alternate the hold button and moving. So right now, I know if I damage the Marines a little bit, I can use the storm and kill them off. I'm going for that 350 mark. You generally want, if you can, do your best as melee to get the 350 mark before you go back to heal. Just because, otherwise you really lose a lot of time in the early game. So shift queuing, I'm going to get my mana card and just go back to the lane really quickly here. That's a good thing to do. A lot of people use that. Shift queuing, basically pass the shop. And you see these boxes here. I'm going to give them a storm and run off. We'll come back to them later. Basically, you want to use your mana. In this case, because I have a mana card, use it as much as possible. Kind of like the same rule of thumb for playing ladder. Basically, use your resources as much as, try to get them back to zeros as soon as possible. So now in this case, I'm not really interested in making, a ton of gas. I just want to push the lane. I'm getting that blazing upgrade, and I tried to go kill him, but he blinked off. I was hoping I could get the Z off before he blinks. I'm trying to lure him back. I know he's going to be a little greedy since there's creep there. Let's see if I can. This is kind of a fun little standoff, It's not worth it, So I was like, alright, I was hoping I could charge him and get with the blazing. I'm going to go back to my, my little tanks here. Now, the goal here, generally with mana card, what I try to do. In this case, I didn't really do it that well, but generally with Mana Card, with Blade Hunter, I try to get to level 5 as soon as possible. It's not about getting the gas back or getting more gas. It's about getting to level 5. So because level 5 is when you get Final Blow, and that's super useful for killing. Otherwise, it's kind of challenging, especially against someone like Zava that can blink. I mean, without Final Blow, it's gonna be very hard. Pacman kind of taking that. We both have potions here. He's taking that. I've got Final Blow now. I'm gonna try to game him a little bit here, and he goes for it. I move right into. Yeah, that was my mistake. I moved sort of away from him into that sweet spot, for his attacks. So kind of screwed myself there, but that's all right. Pac-Man is so funny. A really good player. Pac-Man is very good. As far as early game and stuff like that, he's the best around, other than maybe Artemis, but he's really good to do 1v1s with people that are that good, so that you can really get the most out of it. Pac-Man is here, still farming relatively close to the lane. I thought about charging and getting it up to him, but he's just too far by this point. So I'm just gonna farm. These Tauren Marine just take forever when you're, only level 5. It's kind of frustrating. So I saw that he entered the lane again. I'm just gonna go back and heal so that I can let him farm and then come back. A lot of this, lane control. It's kind of, playing the kind of like chess. A few moves ahead. Okay, if I leave, then I know that when I come back, he's going to be forced to be farming. Now this is a good example here of mind games. He's got that middle tower, and it's the platform. I faked him out by charging. Since he can see, I faked him out by charging, thinking, making him think that I was going to use a potion. Because otherwise, Zava with the tower, it's just very hard to beat. Especially because she can harass better than you can. I'm not sure where he's at right now, so I'm not going to take my chances. I'm just glad I made him waste that potion. I'm going to go back, heal a little bit. Now, another thing that's really good, since I already have potions, I'm going to buy a speed card. Speed card I can get really fast. I can charge cancel everywhere I want. Really good. It's kind of a necessity for Blade Hunter. Pac-Man is farming that, so I'm going to see if I can kill him. I didn't use my potion. I knew he was going to blink. Would have been kind of a waste. A lot of it is knowing, with your opponent, knowing what abilities they have, which ones are the most dangerous to you. Now I'm going to camp. You see, I charged back and I camped. I love camping, so does Pac-Man. It's kind of a needed thing. But, okay, so. So you see Zava, they get auto-attacking balls. They're just very frustrating to deal with. I die again. But going back to sort of the mind games, knowing what to do against your opponent based on what their abilities are and stuff is very crucial, and gaming them into a behavior that you want. He's taking advantage that I'm dead. He's going to farm my tanks. So, kind of going back to that thread on the forum about judgment, being overpowered and stuff like that. And really, a good player, melee or otherwise, is going to understand, okay, you know. I'm going to try to get the tank and kill him here. I think I end up doing that. Boom. And then he's there. And thanks to Blazing for a ridiculous amount of damage. So, you know, like with Judgment, I know that that's going to be used in dire straits, you know, when they're afraid, or also when they think they're going to kill you. So if you know where those 2 points are going to happen, then you try to create those 2 points. With Blink, same thing. You know, I try to game Pac-Man into blinking, so he uses his blink. And I want him to blink in a place that's going to be useful for me. So, you know, if I think, okay, I'm on the cliff and he's going to blink down to the cliff, I'm going to, you know, have some way to charge down there to get to that predicted movement. Zava, you know, even though I camp, it's just so hard to do anything. I mean, the blink, you know, I could have missed my final blow there because of the relatively short range. I'm trying now to do my hardest to push the lane so that he gets denied of all his creep, but it's just I don't have enough time. I'm just gonna go and get some more stuff at the shop. So at this point, I'm shift queuing here. I'm gonna buy a booster and a mana regen. That's the first time I got a mana regen, and I had so much money that I'm also gonna buy a booster. Booster is what I buy second. You can see being fast, you know, it's just really super important getting that speed early so you can. And you see these kind of charge games, I'm trying to make him think that I'm coming at him. Some of Pac-Man's charges are just hilarious. I mean, he'll dance in like a whole square around the lane and call him an ice skater. But, you know, it's good stuff though. You know, that's the kind of stuff you do. So I'm going to get a potion now. So you see a lot of it involves back and forth trips because you know, you're not always going to have money to buy a regen and a potion, a booster and a potion. So, you know, the speed is very important considering that. Boom. So these neutral buildings, when they added these, were like phenomenal. You know, for melee, that's probably the only good thing they've done for melee in a long time. Now I was waiting here. You know, yeah, I didn't use my potion there. It's that ledge, that cliff, is very hard to use final blow because it's blocking your movement. He's coming at me, so I'm gonna move. And you see, I didn't really use my potion there. I just gamed him into using his, which is, you know, that's now I'm gonna use mine. Really close encounter of the strange kind there. That was really close. I made a mistake on that. Now, granted, in this real game, I wouldn't be able to farm these tanks like this, especially with KRK in the middle. I can almost, you know, expect to be killed after I kill someone else. But yeah, that was a mistake back there. You know, I didn't do my combination right. I should have opened with final blow and left charge. Well, I don't know. I mean, didn't end up as I had wanted to. So now I'm going to buy a shield and a potion. I only get one regeneration with Blade Hunter, at least, you know, for the very beginning. Now you see what I did here when I come up to this tower at the beginning. I charge at it, and I move. Pac-Man uses another potion. Kind of really wasting his potions. Still, again, I'm always gaming him try to blink, you know, to waste his blink. And instead of, oh, he's already wasted his potion. He might have another one, but I'm trying to make him waste his potion. He's got a lot of mana, so he can really harass. It sounded like he had another potion there. Pacman's so funny. At this point, I think I'm higher level than him. This was both our first game, so... Yeah, I haven't really done a lot of tank farming in this, mostly just been PvP. But, you know, I mean, if you're killing a lot, it ends up being more useful than getting the tanks to begin with. Again, I go back to the base after I have 1100, since I can. I've got a good combination there. I'm going to get more shields. I'm just going to stack my shields for two reasons. A, because you don't really need a lot of regeneration with Blade Hunter. You just need to kill. And I need to, you know, absorb damage. Especially Zava does so much damage. Moving around here a lot because I waste my potion here, I think. Yeah, I goofed that one up. That was actually pretty close. Yeah, I goofed that one up. See, he gamed me into thinking that okay, so from Zava's perspective, okay, you know, what's an asset that Blade Hunter has against me is Final Blow. So, you know, I'm gonna try to game him into thinking he can Final Blow me, and then Final Blow me. Yeah, that sounds kind of weird. Into doing that Final Blow and then blinking away like he did, which was good. Pacman's very tricky, but it's okay. So I know he's at the shop now. And he's gonna come back. I'm gonna try to meet him. I wait for that Final Blow so I can get more of the... And I just left because I knew that when you upgrade Blazing it has two, it hits twice, so, you know, boom, boom, boom. I waited with that Final Blow so I could get more of it on him. If you just get him with the tip, it's not going to do that much damage. So right now I'm level 13, and let's see what level Pacman is. So he's level 12. Okay, so I'm a level ahead. Halfway to mine. So in that case, I had 1060 or 1050, 1060 gas. So knowing the right combinations of what you combine when is good. In that case, 1050 is what I need for 3 mana potions. I'm going to start saving at this point. This goes back to my idea about shields and why I get them. Another reason why I want to stack some shields is when I push, you know, in this strategy, you know, in the 1 versus 1, you save up. One of the elements is saving up potions, and so that's why I've gotten a few of them now, so that when I can push, you know, I can survive that, you know, so to speak, because he has to be up in front of those for a while. Now, Pacman, I know he's gonna take the opportunity for me to go back and heal, and then boom. I know that he's there. Or kind of. Now, in this case, he's gonna camp that area. I'm gonna force him to camp or to move, and So basically the idea is that I use a ton of potions here. Basically the idea was this. He was there and he's like, okay, so I'm going to call his bluff. I'm going to call his bluff and push the lane. So that'll make him think, oh, he's going to push my lane. I better go down there. So what did I do? I forced him to move from that position. And I knew that he was going to do that, so then I faked and then I went and charged back to meet him in the middle, and that way I could intercept him. So, you know, a lot of prediction, a lot of mind games, especially with melee. But, you know, melee is just sad. I mean, overall, it's just a sad thing. You know, Blade Hunter is the only pretty much one that's left to really do anything. The other ones are just really bad. Even Zeros, I mean, they're just... I'm going to follow him here. I know I can kill him because his... I did waste a potion, but I'm fast. That's another reason why speed is important. You know, you need that speed to sort of intercept, especially blinkers and stuff. Very difficult. You have to cover a lot of terrain when they can just blink off a cliff or something, so you need that speed. Need for speed. Pac-Man thinks he can still win, which is not going to happen at this point. That was very, very difficult to play, so I have to sort of preface all this that, you know, Pac-Man is doing very well. Zava is very hard to play. Probably, you know, along with Soul Hunter, the hardest to master. So, kind of just farming now. At this point, you know, I already know the game's over. You know, with a combo, I can take out that bunker. Final Blow actually does quite a bit of damage to the bunker, in the way that it works, but because it has segments, and so, you know, all 4 segments will hit. So, you know, like I said, it's already over, but I'm just going to goof around. I bought a Predator. I'm going to try to hit Pac-Man with it. But he's already in that middle side, so I know that I'm going to take that Predator, go around. Try to micro the Predator. And charge that thing. That was fun. That was probably what made this whole thing worth it. You see, Final Blow actually does, you know, probably like 3,000 or 4,000 damage on that bunker. Quite a bit. So, there you go. Blade Hunter vs. Zava. Good game. Good game.